This is the Conference USA Softball Championship on ESPN+. We've reached the double elimination portion of the proceedings as day one rolls on with tournament host and fourth-seeded Delaware battling fifth-seeded New Mexico State. Taking a look at our bracket, pitching dominated our two elimination games earlier as La Tech and New Mexico State both marched on. Still 2 games to go later today. And hi, everybody. I'm Matt Janis alongside Dorian Shaw. And Dorian, this is a rematch of a series just a couple of weeks ago that was one of the most entertaining of the year.
Super competitive, long balls, good pitching performances. The series against Delaware and New Mexico in the regular season had everything a softball fan would want.
Earlier today, New Mexico State advanced thanks to their efforts against Sam Houston. It was a great mix of hitting and pitching as they marched on.
In the first game of the tournament, New Mexico State did what they do best. They had 3 solo home runs to provide all of the offense, 2 from Kendall Lunar in the 6th spot, so a big day for their offense with the long ball.
Faith Aragon got 11 strikeouts en route to the win. Meanwhile, for Delaware, their first action of the week, they are led by Sydney Schaefer.
Sydney Schaefer is the do-it-all in the middle of this lineup. 16 home runs. She's first in the conference with 43 walks. She can find her way on base. She can also drive and run, so she's going to be a big impact player for this Delaware offense.
We have moved to double elimination. It's a 4-5 matchup. Delaware takes on New Mexico State. Starting lineups and first pitch when we return. Getting set for the start of double elimination players. The starting lineup for New Mexico State, their second game of the day. Don't want to change that 3-hole. Kendall Lunar was on fire in the opener against Sam Houston.
Kendall Lunar, 2 home runs, 2 solo home runs in that Sam Houston game against a pitcher that doesn't give up very many in Garcia there. So she did a really nice job of attacking and will look to continue that success today.
Now she'll face the Delaware ace, left-hander Josie Crossman.
Josie Crossman has just continued to grow in the sophomore season. Her numbers are a little deceiving due to a bit of a rough start, but good enough to get her all-conference honors in the awards that were announced earlier this week.
So we are set to go. Devin Elam to lead it off for New Mexico State. The sun is out. The host team is taking the field for the first time. Biggest crowd of the afternoon. As a result, it always seems to work out that way. Elam standing in, and we are underway. As the first pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Offense was the story when these two teams squared off a couple weeks ago. It was a pair of back-and-forth affairs. Delaware won the middle game by a wide margin, but they were 2 thrillers on Friday and Sunday, and we are expecting nothing less. Both teams, believe it or not, took confidence out of that series down at New Mexico State.
Just a lot of well-played innings, some big moments offensively, grand slam, home run, clutch hitting, and then nice defensive plays as well, despite the elements in that series. The wind was blowing, and so, yeah, it's going to be another competitive matchup today.
Elam goes the other way and starts things off with a single. So right away, a base runner for New Mexico State. Actually, the Aggies did not have a ton of those in that first game against Sam Houston. They only had 5 hits the entire contest, but the 3 home runs carried the day as Maddie Bachman will be the batter. Bachman moving up a slot in the order. Faith Aragon not hitting in the second game, just pitching as that misses outside to Bachman.
We were talking during the break about whether it's an advantage to already have gotten your first game jitters out of the way, or if you're Delaware coming in with a little bit more rest, only playing 1 game on the day, and all depends on how you look at it. But Josie Crossman trying to find her rhythm in the circle here early in the game.
2 balls and no strikes. Bachman, such a good close to the regular season for this New Mexico State team, was just in the thick of their entire offensive attack down the stretch. Transfer on her 3rd school in her 4th year of college softball. Takes outside and is up to the count 3-0. She got on base with a walk, but struck out her other 2 at-bats in the opener against Sam Houston. About 2.5 hours between games for New Mexico State after the opener to when this one began. As Crossman finds the zone. What do you do with your time in between?
I'm sure they probably ate lunch, got off their feet a little bit. I did see some of them milling around during that middle game just a little bit, but I think it's really just about getting to a quiet spot and getting away from all the action so that they can refocus.
Foul back, and it's 3-2. Well, it's kind of funny. This is where those early season tournaments actually end up mattering because you get a taste for this at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and sometimes, you'll go to a tournament and you might get lucky. You'll have back-to-back games, but in the postseason, that's definitely not a guarantee. So that game separation and having a little bit of an opportunity to reset, having to get your energy back up after sitting for a couple of hours, it's definitely good practice for these late-season games.
Now it's Delaware's turn, having some problems with the communication devices. Maddie Diamond gets a new one out there at third base. The payoff, top foul back our way, and we'll do it again here to Bachman. That was the one thing New Mexico State did with regularity. A lot of long at-bats in that opener against Sam Houston. Really made the Bearcat pitching staff work as that's inside and a walk. And there are 2 on with nobody out here for New Mexico State.
Bit of a tough spot here for Josie Crossman. Obviously, she's still navigating the strike zone and trying to get her pitches dialed in, but a tough spot to be trying to do it against Kendall Lunar, who had a great game 1.
Yeah, Lunar, 2 solo home runs, plus on base via the walk, and gets hit by a pitch here. And you mentioned jitters. They are certainly on display for Josie Crossman right now.
Josie Crossman trying to change her look up a little bit and go inside. Ran that pitch in just a little too tight and a little too high.
Remember, in the Sunday finale between these 2 teams, Delaware scored 6 runs in the top half of the first inning, and New Mexico State answered right away with 7. So big swings is kind of par for the course where these 2 teams square off. So an early fast start, certainly important on the postseason stage, but it's not necessarily decisive. Something to keep in mind throughout this one as this is rolled to third. Diamond up with it, comes home, gets the out, no return throw. But the fielder's choice avoids a run, at least for now, as Johnson reaches on the ground ball.
Yeah, 2 strong offenses, right, going back and forth, and big bats in both lineups. And so it's going to be a really tall task for the pitchers, for the pitching staffs of both of these teams today to keep the offenses quiet. So
now Lauren Garcia will be the batter. Transfer from New Mexico in her 3rd season with the Aggies. Did that catch her hand or the bat? Schaefer saying the bat. Garcia saying the hand, and the umpire says the bat.
Get another look at it here.
Well, that looked like the hand. That's got to be one of the toughest things to call if you're the umpire. I guess you're going so much on sound.
Definitely sound plays a part. Reaction can play a part, right? But it's a tough call because oftentimes the body is shielding from the hands. So the umpire doesn't necessarily have that face forward view of it.
Talk about an early break for Delaware. Now Jen Steele will come out to the circle to talk with Josie Crossman. And you can see the reaction from the New Mexico State coaching staff. Benny Higgs, she didn't love that call, but trying to stay calm for her team.
Yeah, and, it's very early in the game. They're still in an advantageous position with the bases loaded and 1 out. Using a challenge right now might not be the best use of it, especially if you think you might need them down the road. And you've still got Garcia up at the plate with just 1 strike. So in terms of the payoff, probably not the best maybe opportunity to use your challenge, especially since they are limited.
Jen Steele, who worked with Josie Crossman all last year, as she came through the freshman year, was a adventurous rookie season. As you see some stretching going on in the Delaware bullpen. And when Crossman arrived on campus, she was struggling with her control. Really couldn't throw a strike in early portion of fall camp. They worked through that, got her back in the zone, but then she was hitting the fat part of the zone, so it was about command. As this one fouled back, finally started to refine that, came into her own second half of last year, and the process has continued as she's filled a major role this season after the graduation of Billy Kerwood.
There's a big adjustment process, and for some athletes it takes a little bit longer just getting adjusted and accustomed to the college game and how much more challenging it is and how much different you have to be, right? First at bat versus third at bat of the game, it just requires a lot more flexibility and adaptability that Josie Crossman has built into her game now.
With 2 strikes, the infield crept in there even further. They got the ground ball that cut down the run a moment ago. Now they'll back up a little up the middle. Diamond and Castaro still ahead of the bags at first and third. A foul out of play, and Garcia continues to battle as she also continues to shake that hand. I'm sure that could have felt good on her left back of the left portion of her hand.
Yeah, well, and in that developmental process, Josie Crossman picked up a few miles per hour, and so it definitely doesn't feel good getting hit by something in the low to mid-60s.
Another 0-2. Tried for the corner and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. Tamara Carranza waits on deck for New Mexico State. We're scoreless, at least for now. Bases loaded, 1 out. We're in the top of the first. Now back. Good battle to stay alive here from Garcia. She had the adversity of not getting the call, but boy, she's fighting. And that, not a big surprise. Garcia, seen a little bit of everything. Coaches call her competitive but fun-loving kid. Smiles off the field, all game face on it. The 1-2 popped up into shallow center field. Nankiville coming forward. She'll make the catch, tagging at third base. Bachman, she won't go. And Delaware gets out number 2.
It's a nice battle, both parties. Garcia battling through that hit by pitch, and Josie Crossman coming from behind in that at bat to get the out. Nice job by Allie Nankiville coming in hard, making Maddie Bachman think twice about trying to score.
So 2 down, bases still loaded. Carranza the hitter. And Crossman again looking for that outside corner, has been unable to find it early. Crossman, who wants it as badly as anybody on this Delaware team, when you talk to Jen Steele, said her want-to is as high as it comes. 2 balls and no strikes. You mentioned all that velocity that she gained in the offseason. She looks like a different person. She just worked so hard in the weight room. And she said on her diet, she was very, very good about what she was eating. She said the best she's ever been. As it's 3 balls and no strikes with nowhere to put Carranza here.
And coaches love those kinds of stories where you put in the effort and you get out the results, right? It doesn't always work maybe as fast as the athletes want it to, but trusting that process really is a lot easier when you have evidence to show for it.
Got to find the zone here. The 3-0. Getting the over pitch, and it's 3-1. Well, obviously, with the bases loaded, Carranza was taking all the way, but now she'll be freed up. Bachman at third, Lunar at second. Johnson the runner at first. The 3-1 delivery. In the air, left field, playable. Blazers is there, and Delaware gets out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam here at the top of the first. Josie Crossman gets hugs from all her teammates and smiling from ear to ear. Blue Hens offense turn when we return.
Being strong doesn't mean going through it alone.
Mental health matters, just like physical health.
It's okay to feel overwhelmed.
It's okay to ask for help.
Talking to someone can change everything.
Your mind needs care too.
No shame, no stigma, just support.
We're teammates on and off the field.
Your story matters.
You are not alone.
We see you, we support you.
Let's break the silence together.
Mental health is part of the game. Let's continue the
Conversation.
Welcome to New Mexico State University, where innovation meets tradition. Our groundbreaking programs empower our students to design their future. Our commitment to teaching, research, and service drives us to make a global impact. We are a vibrant community that honors heritage and embraces inclusivity. We foster opportunities that challenge students to grow and succeed in every aspect of life. Together, we can transform lives and build a better tomorrow.
At the University of Delaware, our classrooms are idea incubators. Nearby beaches are our research laboratories. Our Blue Hen spirit leads to bold adventures. We learn, challenge, explore, and triumph together. Because here at UD, nothing is out of reach. No limits, all possibilities. The University of Delaware.
Delaware out of a tight spot at the top of the first. Now the offense goes to work. Allie Nankiville sets the tone at the top. 3 all-conference selections. Bat 1, 2, 3 for Delaware. Maddie Diamond, the freshman sensation of the 5-hole. And then Kaylin Blazes getting the start today in the 7 slot for UD. And they will have a tall task, having to go to work against ace Faith Aragon.
Yeah, Faith Aragon, excellent earlier in the game today, 11 Ks in a full 7-inning appearance. But Delaware has an advantage. They just saw her in multiple games 2 weekends ago, so we'll see how this matchup plays out today.
And it is her second outing of the day. Nankiville stands in against her, slaps one left side. Tough play on the charge. No chance to get the speedy Nankiville. And it's a leadoff infield single for Allie.
That's exactly what Delaware is looking for, trying to swing that momentum their way offensively. The big out at the end of last inning, and then Allie Nankiville being able to come back first pitch, find her way on base.
So that's how you draw it up if you're Jen Steele. Now Katie Shivert, the batter for UD, senior who has never missed a game. Second team all-conference selection, takes ball 1 from Aragon. When you are working your second game in as many days as you see the numbers for Shivert, you got to work through the rust right away as that one finds its own. What are you looking at if you're the coaches at what Aragon's doing?
I think you're trying to find patterns, right? You're trying to figure out when is she throwing that changeup. Maybe we can find opportunities to sit hard or sit changeup and be on the hunt for it, and then see what is she using late in counts to get her big outs.
1-1 to Shivert. Comes back and finds the zone again to jump in front 1-2. Shivert, arguably the most consistent player on this Delaware team, both in terms of her production offensively and just the way she shows up every single day. Goes the other way for a base hit into right field. Nankiville will make the turn. Throw to third is late. And Delaware has runners at the corners with nobody out.
Katie Shivert, once again, coming up big, pushing the offense forward. Allie Nankiville, great base running. She got an excellent jump. She knew off the bat that she was going to advance to third with that long throw from Devin Elam across the dirt. She has just enough speed to do that.
Seemed to surprise Elam, who got on that ball in a hurry, sort of figured no way she'll go.
Not a lot of base runners are going to be that aggressive, but Allie Nankiville has the speed to make that happen, and she thinks a pitch ahead, and so she has really an advantage offensively there.
Schaefer showing bunt, pulls back, and Shivert will take second base on the steal. So just a distraction, and Delaware will take it. Strike 1 to Schaefer, but 2 in scoring position. 16 more home runs on the ledger for Sydney Schaefer this season. Another first team all-conference selection this time in CUSA. As she takes outside. Last year in Delaware's old home, the CAA, she was the conference player of the year. And Delaware was a top seed in the postseason last year. Could not quite get over the hump and try to break through, hoping maybe a new opportunity will help them get it done in the postseason as it's 2 balls and a strike to Schaefer.
You know, winning conference championships is really difficult. Winning any tournament play in the postseason is really difficult. And sometimes it's a matter of being there. You got to be there. You got to feel it, figure out what it feels like, and remind yourself it's the same as it always is. And so hopefully that experience is something Delaware can bring into this tournament and have a little bit of a different result for them.
So 3-1 to Schaefer. Base open, but nobody out in this first inning. Still, you're not grooving one here if you're Araga. Gianna Castaro waiting on deck for Delaware. Schaefer tried to go the other way, fouls it off at a full count. Wind continuing as it has all day long. Boy, it's straight across the field from left to right. The ball is not carrying in left field. It is jumping to right field and even a little bit to center. Payoff here to Schaefer. A ground ball to short. Oh, it hits the runner. Dead ball. As there's an out, and Nankiville will have to go back to third.
That's a tough break for the Delaware offense. Certainly 1 run would have scored, potentially 2, depending on how it got played out in center field by Baca. Bad timing. Katie Shivert doing what she could to try and dodge the ball, and it just bounces up right into her leg mid-stride.
So the break goes against Delaware after some good fortune had befallen them earlier, and now Gianna Castaro will be the hitter. And Castaro, a little blooper back at third base, diving catch, Carranza, Nankiville tagging and scores. Delaware takes the lead, but what a catch from Carranza.
Great catch by Carranza. Tough break for New Mexico State. She has to lay out for that ball, which gives Allie Nankiville just enough time to get back and tag. And, you know, I'll be honest, that is some really heads-up base running. You can see Allie Nankiville wise beyond her years in the base running there.
They're going to ask for them to look at this. I think we might see a challenge here from New Mexico State. Nankiville moved. Did she leave the bag early? The shoulders moved, but I'm not sure whether the foot came off the bag. That's what they will go look at on review here, as Bene Higgs immediately came out of the dugout. The Mexico State players were adamant that Nankiville had left third base too soon. What a catch, though, from Carranza. I didn't think she had any chance off the bat.
Certainly, and that was, you know, all the way on the foul line over there, and so that's a long run for her to go. As far as the timing, Allie Nankiville can leave the bag as soon as the ball hits the glove, so it doesn't have to be once the defender is on the ground. It's more so once it makes contact with the glove. That's
going to be so close, Dorian, because that foot did come off on that initial movement. They'll have to string together the two views to see when it was caught, but there was, as you saw on that view, as her shoulders moved, that's when the foot comes off the bag, and on first glance, it seemed like the shoulders had moved before that ball hit the glove. See if we can maybe see the up-top view again of the diving catch. You won't be able to see Nankiville's foot on the bag, but you'll be able to see that upper body.
Yeah, it's certainly hard to tell when you can't see the catch and the runner in the same frame, being able to kind of tie the two together.
Well, that's just so close. The umpires have come back with a decision, and that might be one where it's just too hard to string the views together. Confirmed. Delaware gets the run, 1-0.
Well, and this is just a reminder for the folks at home, the umpires in their review center have different angles than we do on the broadcast. So they have angles down the lines, they have angles closer to home plate, and so they're able to maybe have a look that's more comprehensive than what we could show.
It's got to be one of the first sac fly sixes we've seen all year long. And it was one of the most exciting sacrifice flies we've seen all year long as well. Here's Maddie Diamond coming plateward, the freshman sensation who socked 15 home runs this year. Takes ball 1 from Araga. Diamond, the Tennessee native, has really come on second half of the season. Got off to a fast start, hit a little bit of a lull. And hits this in the air, right field. Wind blowing that direction. Elam back at the warning track near the wall. It's gone! Maddie Diamond in her first career postseason at bat goes yard, a 2-run shot, and it's 3-0 Delaware.
Huge at bat from Maddie Diamond. You can see she is amped up. The whole Delaware dugout, outside of the dugout, rooting and cheering. That is a big moment for the freshman, and honestly, really impressive for them to get to Faith Aragon this early in the game. Obviously, New Mexico State, plenty of firepower on their side as well, and so I think we're setting this up to be a really exciting offensive matchup.
Oh, he said the only way to get one out today, it felt like, was to right field or center. And Diamond, the power righty who loves to pull the ball, goes oppo as ball one here to Sorella Galucci.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see as we go through the course of this game, the pitching strategy, right? So Aragon and Josie Crossman both have been attacking hitters on the outside part of the plate, particularly right-handed hitters, which is going to lend to more balls in right field. And so with the wind blowing out that way, both teams being power teams, it'll be interesting to see if their strategy changes.
Down to 2-0 to Galucci. She lines one into left. That's going to get down for a base hit. So it continues here for Delaware. They like batting in the first inning against New Mexico State. Third crooked number in the last 4 games against the Aggies in the opening inning in a span of 2 weeks.
What makes this Delaware offense really deadly is that there are no gimme outs. There aren't any freebie outs in the lineup. Every hitter has some level of production. Sorella Galucci, although the average isn't as high, she does have a really high on-base percentage. Kaylin Blazes has been coming on as of late. Ellie Mulligan had a 2-home run game a couple weeks ago, and so there's just no easy spots to hide in this offensive lineup.
Blazes getting the start at DP today. Right-handed hitter behind the count, 0-1. And taking outside to level the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 5 first inning hits for Delaware. Both teams a bit of misfortune in the first inning. Delaware had a sharply hit ground ball bounce off the foot of Katie Shivert that impacted this rally as that one catches the corner. And then, of course, the call very close on what would have been a hit batter with the bases loaded. Did it hit the hand or the bat? Umpire ruled the bat, so it was a foul ball instead of a hit batter for Lauren Garcia. And a swing and a miss ends the inning, but not before Delaware strikes. They score 3 times, including the big blast from their big rook. Maddie Diamond going yard, an opposite field shot, and Delaware playing from in front, up 3-0 after 1. In the middle of your screen, the head coach of the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens, Anchored by Amy Belisari, her longtime assistant, and Billy Kerwood, her former ace pitcher, who's on the staff this year. In the interest of full disclosure, Dorian Shaw, my partner, you worked with Jen Steele for a long time on the Blue Hen coaching staff, but that allows you great insight into what makes her mind work.
Yeah, you know, and I think the strength of Jen Steele is the strength of her staff. The longevity of them all being together. Her, Amy Belisari, and Nikki Andrade have all been together for all of 8 seasons that she's been here. And so the way that they pick up for each other and they speak the same language and they teach the same things, it just creates a lot of consistency for the athletes in the program.
Johanna Aragon leading off the inning for New Mexico State as that one is fouled back and out of play. And Crossman comes back, finds the zone, and it's 1-2 to Aragon. That's a late change from what we got initially on the starting lineup. So it makes sense. Aragon's such an important part of what New Mexico State does as she takes just off the outside corner. Her numbers maybe won't wow you, but it feels like she's in the thick of everything they put together.
She's always in the mix. She plays the hot corner offensively. She's had some moments where she's come up really big for them, and using her at the bottom of the order to allow the offense to have some production at the bottom is a smart choice.
Lifts it to center, though, and Nankiville is there. Aragon retired, 1 down. Well, if you're Crossman, you'd like a cleaner inning. You were able to somehow escape that first. That might settle the nerves, but a bounce back and shutdown inning you're looking for right here. You're working both directions.
Certainly, and you know, as you get settled into the game, being able to attack hitters and then go to your go-to stuff is going to be a big advantage for the pitchers in this game.
Taylor back coming forward, trying to slap one past Delaware. Comes up empty, strike one. Back playing in the opener, but did not bat. She was the flex player in center field. True freshman, has played a lot here down the stretch. Started 46 of the 49 games that she's played this year as a rookie. And she sees the count level at 1-1. Gets hit by a pitch a lot. 10 times this season she has been plucked. That's tied for third in Conference USA. And it's a little bit of a surprise because it's not like she stands right on top of the plate. The slapping nature might help a little, but she comes up empty again, and it's 1-2.
Well, some people just have a knack for it. You know, sometimes it's just the ball is magnetically drawn to your elbows and your knees, and, you know.
Is that a good knack or a bad knack? I'm not sure which way that goes. I guess it depends on the situation.
Depends on how much you value your on-base percentage.
Little slapper to third. Nice play to her left from Diamond, who gets the out at first base. And then something fell out of Backus' pocket. I'm not sure if that was her sign cards or what happened there, but he left a lot of litter on the playing field. You can see everything falling out there. As meanwhile, Diamond celebrating the excellent play. Destin Burks will be the batter. 2 out, bases empty. And Burks turns on one, caught at third. It's Maddie Diamond's day so far. The homer in the first, 2 fantastic defensive plays in the second. They caught it the hot corner. A nonchalant Maddie Diamond. Delaware's up a run. Mexico State as we start the bottom half of the second inning. You see Bene Higgs, who's been the interim coach all season long for the Aggies. She was named interim coach during the winter, taking over for longtime head coach Kathy Rodolph, as both her and Kat Heifner left the program. Higgs, who was an assistant for more than a decade, a bunch of stops, including a long stretch at Stony Brook, in her third season at New Mexico State, but her first year in charge. And as Bridget Chapman leads off this bottom half of the second inning, strange to play an entire year with an interim coach, but it feels like the team really rallied around her.
Yeah, Bene Higgs has done a nice job of kind of reinforcing the expectations and the culture at New Mexico State in the softball program. And for her credit, Delaware is familiar to her. Multiple years at Stony Brook, they came down. Both were members of the CAA before Delaware left and came to Conference USA. So this is familiar territory for her, which might lend a little bit of confidence in her strategy and her planning.
Chapman, one of the leaders of this Delaware team, as fun-loving a kid as you'll find, takes it downstairs for ball two. You know, the interesting thing, when Higgs got the job, she wanted to stress to her players, my philosophy is very similar to the former coaching staff's philosophies. That's why they hired me. That's why I was on the staff. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. And that seemed to put everybody at ease. And it was just some little things that they tweaked here and there. And pretty successful campaign overall. Some ups and some downs, but when you got Faith Aragon, they were able to rally behind her and put together good years. They finish as the 5 seed as Chapman checks her swing and does not go. It's 3-1. Aragon, her second start of the day. We talked about what the Delaware coaching staff is looking for from Aragon and how you attack somebody that's in her second start of the day. As a 3-1, Chapman fouls it back. What's the New Mexico State coaching staff keeping an eye on with Aragon to look out for?
I think they're just looking for any sort of drop-offs. If she starts missing her spots, missing on opposite sides of the plate, velocity may be a factor for them, but with her ability to move the ball, I don't think it would play as much. I'm sure they would like to have her changeup working a little bit better than it is right now, because that is such an equalizer pitch for her, and I'm sure she'll continue to throw it until she finds it again, because she needs it against this Delaware offense. But just keeping an eye on her pace, right, and making sure that she's still feeling good in the circle.
It was so wildly effective in that opener against Sam Houston. She fanned 11, just had the Bearcats offense completely off balance. Only one hit going into the final frame. Ends up with a 2-hitter and walks Chapman here. So the 3 runs allowed in the first inning, and now a leadoff free pass. And Delaware already more base runners than Sam Houston managed that entire first game.
Bridget Chapman doing a good job being aware of the strike zone. It's being called pretty true, maybe even a little bit tight based on what the pitcher's like. But she did a good job of forcing Faith Aragon to put the ball in the zone and took her free base.
Yelly Mulligan taking downstairs. I was just about to follow up on that. Pretty true for a hitter like yourself. I don't know if the pitchers would necessarily call it with the same description, but it has been remarkably consistent. Umpires have done a good job this week as that one's beaten foul. I don't think we've had a single call where there's been a ton of complaint. Everybody's emotions are high on this stage. You're going to get some people upset no matter what you do, but nothing of big controversy so far. Although the New Mexico State fans might point out that hit batter with the bases loaded in the top of the first inning, and that would be fair. Off speed, again, just not putting it where she wants to, and 1 to Mulligan.
Well, and to your point about, high stakes, high emotions, I've been to T-ball games where people complain about the umpire. So I don't know that the stakes are really the issue.
Hey, when it's your kids, the stakes are high no matter what.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Ground ball to third on a knee to glove it. Aragon goes to second and gets the out. How about that work from Joanna Aragon?
It's a nice job by Aragon to corral that ball and be able to get the throw off in time. And she threw a nice ball to Destin Burks to get that out.
Close play, but another good call from the umpires. So 1 down, runner at first. Back to the top of the order. Nankiville lays down a bunt. Going to be a tough out. Aragon made it look easy.
It's a really nice job by Faith Aragon. She's so athletic, you know, obviously being a two-way player, defense comes naturally to her. We saw her make some good defensive plays in the regular season matchup between these two teams as well, and not many people are going to get Allie Ninkaville on that, but Faith Aragon with some speed of her own.
You're not getting out of the circle in the blink of an eye. Here's Katie Shivert. Takes the off speed upstairs. Ball one. Shivert singled, stole a base, but then made it out. Tried to run and distract the shortstop, but a ground ball that direction off the bat of Sydney Schaefer in that first inning. Shivert turns on one, lifts it in the air to left. Right at Johnson, who makes the catch, and that ends the inning. So Delaware gets a runner in scoring position, but leaves her there. Faith Aragon, a good job to settle in. Her team down by 3 after 2.
Hilton Sandestin Beach Golf Resort and Spa is proud to partner with Conference USA with over 5.
Josie Crossman back to work for Delaware. An adventurous top half of the first, but got out of a bases-loaded jam and then worked a 1-2-3 second. So she has retired 6 straight batters. It was bases loaded, nobody out, and was behind in the count to Sky Johnson as her first pitch to Devin Elam, missing for ball 1. Had to be a tough blow for New Mexico State. They brought in so much momentum from that earlier win over Sam Houston. That's the latest appeal that we'll see all week long. They just pointed down to the first base umpire who says no go. And it's 2-0 to Elam.
Well, and that's some of the development of Delaware softball throughout the course of the season. In the preseason, those bases loaded jams, those big moments, they were giving up extra base hits and really paying for it on the defensive side. And they have developed in the bullpen specifically the ability to come through with some clutch pitches in some of those moments. And so Josie Crossman did a nice job of getting out of that jam.
Nice swing there from Elam. She had a cut. She's got some power at the top of the order. This is not, this is a leadoff hitter that gets on a lot, but she's not your punch and Judy leadoff hitter.
And I think that's what's great about the game is you can have different styles of players play the same role. You know, Allie Ninkaville and Devin Elam both hit at the top of the lineup. They do very different things, right? Very, very, very different things, but they're both successful in their own right because of the style of offense that their teams play.
23 extra base hits on the season for Elam, including 12 home runs. Slugging .667. But gets on base too and works the walk to start this top half of the third.
Conversely, just like we were talking about Allie Ninkaville, 1 extra base hit.
And that was a ground ball. She just got it through the hole because the outfield had been shading her the other way. So now Maddie Bachman, the batter, worked a walk, got to third base her first time up. And lines one to short, shoestring catch. Gallucci doubles up the runner at first.
Delaware with some good defense here. Ball was hit pretty sharply to Sorella Gallucci. Devin Elam not quite enough time to put on the brakes and change directions.
That's where that big secondary lead comes back to bite you. Most of the time, it's a good thing. That time it hurts. As a pop-up off the bat of Lunar into shallow right. Chapman able to get there, make the catch. Minimum faced frame for Josie Crossman, who's getting more than a little help from her friends as they can dance in celebration. Blue Heads up 3 after 2.5.
When it comes to the health of you and your family, you want to trust in having the best partner for your well-being. Ranked a top hospital in the region, that's exactly what you'll find at ChristianaCare. Because you deserve excellence from your physician, specialists, nurses, and staff, with safe and convenient ways to get the care you need. And at ChristianaCare, we add in something special: love. It's at the heart of everything we do, and we do it all for the love of health. Your health.
Hey, grab me one too.
Of the third inning, Cindy Schaefer leads it off for Delaware. Heart of the order due up for the Blue Hens, playing at home in this Conference USA Softball Championship. Day 1, game number 3. After 2 elimination games to get things started, we've now moved to double elimination mode. Winner of this one will take on Jacksonville State tomorrow afternoon. 2 balls and no strikes to Schaefer, who hit one on the screws, but into bad luck. Ricocheted it off of Katie Shivert for an out. Her first time up. Shivert running from second to third base. Three balls, no strike. Schaefer, who leads the conference in walks, set the program all-time record for walks in a single season this year, and also owns the program record for career walks. It's pitched around with great regularity. That's why her on-base percentage better than 500. As she had the green light, she swung. She thought she was going to first base, and instead, strike one to Schaefer.
And we haven't seen that call yet today, but it was borderline.
It's a bad feeling when you check your swing on a 3-0 pitch. It's the 3-1. Strike two. Good bounce back from Aragon. So Schaefer, who does not get rattled very often on a southpaw diamond, was offered back foot there for a moment, and now hits it the other way to right down the line into foul ground. Elam is there, has to make a late adjustment, but makes the grab, and one away.
Good job by Faith Aragon to make good on that 3-1 pitch.
You can see, even though the wind's calmed down a little bit, just a lot of late adjustments on balls into the air. As Castaro got jammed, pops it up left side. Carranza, this will be a much simpler catch than the last one she made, and squeezes a leather for out number 2.
That kind of quick out is exactly what Faith Aragon and New Mexico State's coaching staff are looking for, is just efficiency, right? Attacking the hitters, helping them get themselves out, and then getting off the field really quickly.
Maddie Diamond homered against her last time and takes ball one upstairs. Opposite field home run for Diamond at her first at bat. The true freshman who's fit in so well with this Delaware team, is carrying a kid, Jen Steele says, as you'll find. Pops it up, back it out of play. They do a circle that a lot of teams do where they share their stories, their feelings with their teammates. And Jen Steele said Maddie Diamond is lapping the field in number of times that her teammates have made her cry every time they share an emotional story. She's the first one to break out in tears. And she says it's not fake, it's genuine every time, as it's 2 balls and a strike to Diamond.
You know, in our previous game, we talked about fit, cultural fit, organizational fit, making sure that you're recruiting players, whether they be out of high school or out of the transfer portal, that fit your organization. And Maddie Diamond is one of those pieces that just fit right into this Delaware program. She has, you know, values that align with the coaching staff. Her work style, her work ethic is really what they're looking for. She's open to learning. She's open-minded, and that's what Delaware's coaching staff is really looking for when they're recruiting their players. And so she just came in and was able to find her stride really quickly because of that.
Jen Steele said they recruited her to replace Sydney Schaefer. She has that type of offensive ability. She pops this one up right side, staggering underneath and making the catch is Burks to end the inning. So 1-2-3 frame for Aragon. Good job by the ace. New Mexico State's got to get going, down 3 after 3.
Under Armour is proud to partner with Conference USA. Every team and athlete on our roster is united by
Been a good show for the Delaware defense so far. After 3, they lead by 3. The Gloves getting it done.
Defense is definitely going to be the name of the game throughout this entire tournament, but specifically in a game that matches up 2 high-powered offenses, and Delaware's defense is getting it done so far.
Especially that left side, Galucci and Maddie Diamond combining to take 3 hits away from New Mexico State and turn one into a double play that ended the second inning. Now we start the 4th. Sky Johnson to lead it off for New Mexico State, and that's bounce foul third base side. They got going so promisingly. Bases loaded, nobody out. Didn't score, and the air kind of came out of the balloon in the second game. They need a spark here to get themselves going again.
They do, and they're in a good spot in the lineup because they're about to turn it back over to the top, but no slouches. Lauren Garcia found her way on base in the previous game, and, you know, they're definitely going to look for this bottom to be the spark that they need to get going.
Johnson grounded into a fielder's choice her first time. A wide open stance from the right side against the lefty Crossman, who jams her but gets a foul back and out of play. And Johnson battling as she always does. The Riverside, California native. Coaches say they always knew she could hit. The question is, could she play defense well enough to find a spot every day in the lineup? And she worked so hard to improve that area in the offseason. Lifts this to shallow left. Mulligan there and makes the grab for out number 1.
Yeah, it's really rare to have players come out of high school and be fully developed players. So for Sky Johnson to find her way into the everyday lineup defensively and offensively is just a testament to her development, her work.
The extra work that she put in And the improvement of her softball IQ, which they said now is high on the list of this team, is Castaro. Awkward back pedal, able to make the catch on the pop fly off the bat of Garcia for out number 2.
We've seen a lot of high fly balls, high pop-ups in the last couple of half innings, and that one hung up just enough for Gianna Castaro to get over there. It would have been a long run for Bridget Chapman or Katie Shivert, who was shaded up the middle, and so Gianna Castaro really the only one with the play on that, doing a nice job of hanging with it.
Now Carranza, who hit a home run in game 1 against Sam Houston, taking a strike, flashed her leather with a terrific diving catch on the sac fly to shortstop in that first inning for Delaware. But it was a catch of the day from Carranza. 1 ball, 1 strike to the shortstop. Roller to third, past the dive of Diamond and Galucci. So they finally find the combination to sneak one through the left side. A 2-out single for Tamara Carranza.
It's a nice job by Carranza. She was ready for that inside pitch, was able to get her barrel out in front and hit it through the left side with a little bit of velocity on it, which is why it got past the 2 defenders over there.
So 2-out base runner, see if they can take advantage as Aragon comes up. And Johanna takes low and outside for ball 1. Pitching her away, they missed. 2 balls and no strikes. Chapman playing pretty shallow in right field. I know it's the opposite way against Aragon, but we've seen the ball jump in that direction. Instead, she tries to turn on one, lofts it left side, and Galucci making the grab. They work around the 2-out single and strand the runner at first base. Halfway done here at the Delaware Diamond, and Josie Crossman and the Delaware Blue Hens hold a 3-run lead. Different ways to have fun on a long day of softball at the Delaware Diamond. So the youngsters, they decided to go outside the ballpark. That is quite the wall to play wall ball on, huh?
Absolutely. The Bob Carpenter Center has a lot of good surfaces for some wall ball activity.
I like the way you put that, as it's Sorella Galucci leading off the inning, and she takes low and inside for ball 1. Got a defensive change here for New Mexico State. Jade Valladares comes into the contest. Valladares in at first in replacement of Lauren Garcia, as Galucci looks at a strike, and it's 1-1.
I do wonder, I suspect that this change has to do with that hit by pitch. Garcia, after that at bat, went into the dugout and was having it looked at by the athletic trainer. And so hopefully she's okay and is able to return if that's part of their plan. But I imagine that might be a reason for the change.
And that right there is the difference between you and me. I found the wall ball. You find something important to the strategic nature of the game. Good brain, whatever I've been given to work with. 2-1. Turned on, hit foul, third base side, and it's 2-2 to Gallucci. You mentioned Aragon. The changeup is not as sharp as we saw in the opener, but this is what makes it Aragon impressive. After the first inning troubles, even without one of her most important pitches, she's finding ways to get out.
Definitely. And, you know, we talked about in that first inning with the wind and the power alley going out to right field, was she going to change up her strategy? And it looks like she's coming inside a little bit more, particularly on these Delaware righties, and inducing some of those high fly balls and those easy ground balls for her defense.
Been a long day for Aragon. She got started at 12 noon, tossed a complete game, two-hitter in an elimination game, so high stress frames. And payoff, jam, job, fouled back. But I tell you what, it is almost impossible for a softball to come into the press box here at the Delaware Diamond. But I know we're watching a lot of games in one day. We've come as close as you probably can come here this afternoon.
That one was probably the closest one, huh? The lowest.
Yeah, just the right angle of spin and descent as that's coming more our way, but a little higher this time. Look out to the camera, folks, up above. Nice little wake-up call. Game number 3 of the afternoon. Kudos to our ESPN Plus crew. It's a long day of work through some inclement weather, and they had an early call time. Appreciate all of their efforts. As that one missing outside, and Gallucci works a walk to start this fourth frame.
That is something that Sorella Gallucci is so good at, being able to waste pitches that aren't in her wheelhouse and take pitches when they're out of the zone, work herself to walk. She's second on the team in walks behind Sydney Schaefer, and she earns all of hers. Some of Sydney's are given to her for free. Sorella Gallucci earns every single one that she gets.
She's aboard, blazes the batter, late cut, fouls it away, first base side. Caitlin Blazes, her role has evolved over the course of the season. Connecticut native, was used almost exclusively for her speed last season, but kept working offensively and has earned her way into the lineup here down the stretch as a snap throw to first sends Gallucci diving back.
And that is a part of the game, you know, with the base running that Delaware has been using a little bit more this season since they have more speed in their lineup. But Kendall Lunar has an absolute cannon behind the plate. And so I know the coaches are thinking twice about when they might want to put runners in motion.
A little inside-out job is fair down the right field line. Hustling over to cut it off Elam, but it won't matter. Gallucci to third, Blazes to second with a double, and Delaware back at it here in the fourth.
And just to keep speaking to the speed, right, Caitlin Blazes was able to turn that into 2 bases, a routine single to right field, a little bit under hit, right, a little bit of a jam shot, but she's got enough speed, and Sorella Gallucci in front of her, no hesitation, knowing that that ball is taking Devin Elam to the line, and that's going to be an impossible throw for her to make. Good job on the bases there.
It is not how, it is how many, and that's another extra base hit for the Blue Hens, and now Blazes at second base. Chapman fouling one back to the screen. Bridget Chapman, an excellent situational hitter. Has done a good job in these situations all season. Don't need a hit here. Matter of fact, don't even have to hit it in the air. They're playing back up the middle. Upstairs. I think that's a sign of confidence in their offense that I know it's second and third, nobody out, so you're trying to avoid a big inning, but also that they don't feel like giving up one more run necessarily is lethal at this stage of the game. Here's a fly ball, well hit center field, forget about it. Bridget Chapman, a 3-run shot, and Delaware has opened up a 7-0 lead.
Well, and you said it, Bridget Chapman, good in situations. She's come through numerous times for this Delaware offense with big hits with runners in scoring position. And that one about as big as they come to really stretch this lead to a 6-0 affair.
I beg your pardon, 6-0. Gave Delaware an extra run, but you'll take it if you're the Hens. 6-zip the advantage, and that's going to be it for Aragon. So a pitching change here at the Delaware Diamond. 6-0 the score as we are in the bottom of the fourth. Delaware celebrating. Tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. Six nothing, the Delaware lead, and the Blue Hens not getting cheated. Second home run of the game, this time from Bridget Chapman, and she got a hold of that one.
Bridget Chapman doing a great job capitalizing on a missed pitch by Faith Aragon. She doesn't miss very many, but Bridget was ready for it, and she cashed it in for 3 runs.
So now Ellie Mulligan will be the batter. New pitcher into the contest for New Mexico State. Zantel Rodriguez comes into the contest for the Aggies. And a right-hander going against the tall, slender righty for Delaware. New Mexico State, their pitching depth has improved as the season has gone on, but they are very reliant in the circle, obviously, on their A's. And it was one of the question marks surrounding this Aggie team coming into the week. And Benet Higgs figuring you get a 6-run deficit here. Why extra pitches for Aragon and get some people some experience on this stage?
Definitely, and with the way that the rules are set up, Faith Aragon can re-enter into the game should New Mexico State get back in this thing offensively. And so I think Coach Higgs is just hoping that her offense can come alive, get this a little bit closer, and then if they needed to, they could go back to Faith Aragon to close it out if the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah, Ellie Mulligan had her head coach, Jen Steele, dancing down there in the third base coach's box. Jen Steele, who coaches third like it's a game of Where's Waldo. You never quite figure out where she's going to be. Sometimes it's right next to the dugout. Sometimes it's as close to the batter as she can get. And a swing and a miss from Mulligan. Good drop ball down and in. And a strikeout starts the outing for Rodriguez.
Nice pitch there from Rodriguez. It kind of just disappeared behind Ellie Mulligan's back leg.
So back to the top of the order. And Allie Nankiville. Nankiville, successful day so far. Leg down an infield single to jumpstart a rally in the first, and then lay down a sacrifice bunt in the second. High and tight, ball 1. It's always interesting to see how defenses are going to attack Nankiville, how shallow they are willing to play in the outfield. She's obviously not capable of carrying the ball all that far right now as a liner towards short, off the glove of Carranza as it got to her in a hurry. And there's the speed of Nankiville drawing the defense in and getting it by them.
And you mentioned, right, Allie Nankiville not quite developed in power slapping, but that ball, especially on some potentially damp turf, right, had a lot of zip on it. And Carranza did what she could, but even if she had fielded that cleanly, that's a long throw and a tough out to try and get Allie Nankiville.
So now it's Shivert. 6-run Delaware cushion. We're in the 4th inning. And downstairs, ball one to Shivert. Shivert flied out to left last time, singled her first time up. One of the unquestioned leaders of this Delaware team. It is Katie Shivert, it is Sydney Schaefer. As they go, so go the Hens, both on the field and off. You mentioned Delaware struggling a bit early in the season, and it was tough for that duo to deal with because they had found nothing but success over the course of their Delaware careers. So they didn't go all the way back to square one, but it felt like they were moving more in that direction than the duo was used to. And Jen Steele said we had to have a lot of meetings to make sure they understood what the process this year was going to be. As a roller up the middle, just out of the reach of Carranza, and into center field, another hit.
This Delaware lineup, this Delaware team looks very different than what Sydney Schaefer and Katie Shivert have experienced throughout the course of their career. They have been the young ones on veteran-laden teams for multiple years, and now, you know, they're the seasoned old vets on a team that has inexperience. And so at the beginning of the season, they were taking their lumps, but they were learning through it, and they just had to stay patient.
And Katie Shivert, who's not all that vocal a person by nature, as that one comes inside to that catch. Schaefer or misser? No, misses are on the bounce, and the runners will move up. But Shivert said her teammates came to her and said, we need to hear your voice. We need you to step up and take charge of this room. Shivert said, if that's what you need, that's what I'll do. And she found her voice early in the season and has maintained it ever since.
And all of the seniors on this Delaware team have such high softball IQ. So them being able to communicate, them being able to run the field, tell the offense kind of what the plan is, what's happening at the plate is such a valuable asset. And if they keep that information in, then their teammates can't benefit from it. So good for Delaware's team that they told Katie what they needed, and good for Katie that she's able to deliver it.
That's it for a strike 2-1 to Schaefer. Well, Rodriguez dealing with some adversity here with two in scoring position and only one out. Coaching staff said this week she's actually handling it much better here late in her sophomore season than she did early in her career. She's understanding how to pitch through these type of spots and not get timid when there's traffic on the base paths. That one fouled away. This certainly at the top of the list. Down by 6, bottom 4, and one of the best power hitters in the league up.
This is important experience for Rodriguez, especially knowing Faith Aragon's only a junior. She has another year to return to New Mexico State, and so they want to develop some arms behind her so that she doesn't have to be the go-to every single day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in a conference series.
Schaefer foul tips it into the glove of Luder, and a big strikeout there for Rodriguez. So a nice bounce back from the right-hander, and now it's Gianna Castaro. Ball one to the first baseman, Castaro. You can see that big knee brace she wears on her left leg. Missed the postseason last year. Real heartbreaker for Castaro, and a real impact on that Delaware team that won the regular season in the CAA, but missed her presence in the middle of the lineup and at first base.
It's definitely one of those what-if situations, right? What if we had Gianna to have one more, you know, clutch hit, timely hit, but she's done a nice job of recovering, having her surgery, putting in the training, doing the physical therapy and the rehab to get herself back and ready to start this season.
They did not think that she'd be able to return in time for opening day, or weren't counting on it for sure. Actually, we're working Bridget Chapman a lot of reps at first base to be the potential starter early in the season. But Castaro willed herself back in time and almost gets hit in that knee as it's 2 balls and a strike.
We talked about some of those magnetic players that just get hit by a lot of pitches. Gianna Castaro is one of those players as well, as is Taylor Baca for New Mexico State.
She had a big series against New Mexico State, 3 home runs on the road against the Aggies. 3 balls and a strike here. One of them got her 100th career hit. Great speed on the base pass for Delaware. Nankiville at third, Shivert at second. 3-1 coming to Castaro. Caught the upper portion of the zone. Good pitch from Rodriguez. Cloud cover starting to move in here at Delaware Diamond. Not supposed to rain anymore the rest of the day. That's the weather, people. Don't blame me if it goes the other way. Payoff. Grounded left side. Gobbled up by Aragon. Long throw in time. And Delaware strands a pair in scoring position after 4. It's 6-0. Blue Hens lead, thanks in large part to the long ball. Bridget Chapman, the second of the game for Delaware. The Hens get to celebrate. Chapman puts them up by 6.
Being strong doesn't mean going through it alone.
Mental health matters, just like physical health.
It's okay to feel overwhelmed.
It's okay to ask for help.
Talking to someone can change everything.
Your mind needs care too.
No shame, no stigma, just support.
We're teammates on and off the field.
Your story matters.
You are not alone. We see you, we support you.
Let's break the silence together.
Mental health is part of the game.
Let's continue the conversation.
Welcome to New Mexico State University, where innovation meets tradition. Our groundbreaking programs empower our students to design their future. Our commitment to teaching, research, and service drives us to make a global impact. We are a vibrant community that honors heritage and embraces inclusivity. We foster opportunities that challenge students to grow and succeed in every aspect of life. Together, we can transform lives and build a better tomorrow.
At the University of Delaware, our classrooms are idea incubators. Nearby beaches are our research laboratories. Our Blue Hen spirit leads to bold adventures. We learn, challenge, explore, and triumph together. Because here at UD, nothing is out of reach. No limits, all possibilities. The University of Delaware.
We go to the 5th frame. New Mexico State has some work in front of it. Double elimination now, portion of the Conference USA Championship. New Mexico State surviving their elimination game to get things going. 8 teams making it here to the first stage. 4 playing elimination games right away as a slap ground ball off the bat of Baca, gobbled up and taken care of by Sorella Galucci. And 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. It's easy to underestimate the stress of that elimination game to get the day started. Liberty having some fun as they will play their first game of this week. Up next, they'll face another team that survived an elimination game, an even more stressful one at that, Louisiana Tech.
Well, and for New Mexico State, you know, their stress started last week because they didn't know where they were going to finish in conference play, you know, and so that last weekend of the regular season was so pivotal in shaking out the final standings that they didn't know where they were going to be, whether they were going to get the first round bye or not. So they've been having to kind of deal with that looming pressure of the elimination game. So I'm sure it was exciting for them to kind of get that first one under their belts.
In an ill-timed, rough weekend last week against Missouri State, as that's fouled out of play. Still no balls and 2 strikes to Destin Burks. When they beat Delaware to take 2 of 3 in that series 2 weeks ago, and then you have the Blue Hens coming home against a really good WKU team, and New Mexico State, as that one just misses, having to face a Missouri State team that had been up and down but struggled most of the year. Really had to figure, like, with the tiebreaker, it was going to be very hard for New Mexico State not to earn one of those opening round byes, but that's why they play the games. As a roller towards third, Diamond on the charge and makes it look easy, 2 down.
Definitely, because looking at the standings and the way that the games had previously shaken out, it would have been easy to say, oh, certainly New Mexico State is going to get one of those spots, but Delaware took care of business at home, and New Mexico State stumbled a little bit on the road, and so there was a little bit of a toss-up in the standings late in the regular season, as late as it could happen.
right down to the final weekend as Elam takes off speed upstairs, ball one. Elam is walked and singled, was thrown out trying to score on a ground ball to third in that opening inning. Lifts this one in the air to right. Chapman racing back, and that one's off the base of the fence. Elam digging for second, gets there sliding, and it's a 2-out double and a little life for the Aggies.
It's a nice job by Devin Elam getting behind that ball. Coach Bené Higgs looking for her hitters to kind of propel themselves here, and so she's able to get herself into scoring position. Bridget Chapman playing just a little bit shallow with respect to Devin Elam's power, so Elam's able to get it over the top of her head.
Especially on a day where the wind blowing out to right, although not as hard as it was earlier. Mempo might have gotten out if the wind had picked up like we saw earlier this afternoon. Bachman will be the batter. Fredericksburg, Virginia native, who closed the regular season in style. Her first career multi-homer game in that finale against Missouri State, as at least they were able to get one and feel a little bit better about themselves coming into this tournament. That catches her on the arm. So 2 out, bases empty to 2 on with 2 down. And Kendall Lunar, who almost single-handedly won the game earlier today for New Mexico State, coming plateward.
Josie Crossman here, you know, continuing to just try and provide different looks, trying to go up and in and make sure she doesn't leave it over the plate, runs that in way too tight, and Bachman gets to take first base.
Ken Steele out of the dugout to talk with Crossman. Remember, she came out and visited with her earlier. There is activity going in the Delaware bullpen. But this looked like more of a conversation than a change with the way Steele came out.
Yeah, I think they're just talking about strategy, how they're going to approach Kendall Lunar, probably what they're going to do to keep her at bay in this game.
The double barrel action going in that Delaware bullpen. So options for Jen Steele depending which direction she elects to go. She's got the freshman Carly Chalberg and the George Mason transfer, Kylie Wilkerson, loosening. So 2 on, 2 out. Chance to get right back in this here if Lunar can strike. Hit a rising line drive homer her first time, and then snuck one out late in the game against Sam Houston. Today, 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch as she rolls this one foul third base side, at least in this second game today. Game 3 overall. A lot of softball today. Fun way to get things started.
Definitely. It looked like a little bit of a late decision there from Kendall Lunar on that foul ball. Josie Crossman coming inside, and Kendall not quite on the timing there.
One and one as Schaefer handling that one in the fake dirt, painted turf here at the Delaware Diamond. One silver lining for that as a catcher, you get much truer hops. Liner up the middle into center field for a hit. Nankiville on the charge. They're going to wave around Elam, and the throw is cut off. It's an RBI single for Lunar. Her big day continues, and New Mexico State is on the board.
Kendall Lunar seeing pitches like beach balls right now. She's just making good choices at good times, right? Putting good swings on good pitches, and that's the simplicity. It's simple, but it's not always easy, but she's making it look easy today.
So still 2 on, still 2 out. Sky Johnson, the batter. They'll leave Crossman out there and brushes Johnson back a little bit for ball 1. Johnson not made great contact today, but a good offensive season. Talked about how she's always been a hitter. And this is fisted to short. Oh, Colucci started in, then had to reach up, but makes the catch, and it ends the inning. So New Mexico State able to get on the board. Kendall Lunar continues to rake, but the Aggies still with work to do. They trail by 5 as we go bottom 5. Hitting it is Delaware leading New Mexico State 6-1. This is the Conference USA Softball Championship, our third game. Earlier today, New Mexico State and Louisiana Tech both winning elimination games. So now we switch to the double elimination format. That means the winner of this one takes on Jacksonville State tomorrow, heading to the winner's side of the bracket. And later, it'll be Liberty and Louisiana Tech, with the winner battling WKU in the other game on the winner's side tomorrow afternoon. Maddie Diamond comes up. She set the freshman home run record at the University of Delaware with her 3-run shot in the first inning, and she takes a strike, 0-1. Diamond, who popped out last time. Behind to the count, 0-2. I'm impressed by Rodriguez working through that tight spot. You know, the run rule, obviously something that always creeps into your mind when you get into this type of stage. Down 6 with 2 in scoring position. Could have gotten away from them. Now it feels like they're back within striking distance as it's 1-2 to Diamond.
Yeah, and, you know, she's got a steady presence out there in the circle, and so nice job by her coming in and just calming down the defense, getting some outs, and then getting them back in the dugout. They were able to put 1 on the board, and they have the type of offense that can score in bunches, and so her job is just to keep this thing as close as she possibly can until the offense can catch up.
Another launched drive to center field, and another home run for Diamond. Her second of the game. This time a solo shot of the lead, back to 6 for Delaware.
Big day for Maddie Diamond in her conference tournament debut as a freshman. She's just taking it pitch by pitch and really capitalizing on mistakes by the New Mexico State pitching staff, and Delaware fans are loving it.
So Oppo, and now to the batter's eye, and I think Maddie Diamond deserves those hugs the way the day has gone for the freshman.
Well, as you mentioned, her high level of care, right? It makes it easy for her teammates to root for her, and so that support is genuine going back and forth from Maddie Diamond and her teammates.
Galucci takes a strike, 0-1 to the Delaware shortstop, who has got a hit and a walk in this game. You know, Maddie Diamond, we mentioned it earlier, they recruited her to replace Sydney Schaefer. They thought she would be that type of offensive player. As that one comes low and inside, she just passed Sydney Schaefer in terms of the home run lead on the team this
season. I think tying the home run lead in conference, right? That was her 17.
That's right. Yep. Drawing even. Incredible rookie year. Colucci taking outside. There's a lot of good young players in this league this year. The newcomer or all rookie team, it's just a very impressive list up and down.
And all different kinds of skills, right? We've got good arms. McKenna Moore, fantastic pitcher and player. We've got Lundstrom, center fielder for Sam Houston, Allie Nankiville, and Maddie Diamond here at Delaware. They're scattered all over, and they play all over the field. So it's going to be fun to keep track of Conference USA for the next few years.
Back to that home run from Diamond. Went down. That was a little golf job there from the third baseman.
That is, Delaware has made it hard for New Mexico State's pitching staff to figure out where to throw it. Bridget Chapman's home run was on a pitch that was a little bit elevated. Maddie Diamond goes down and gets something that's a little bit lower in the zone, and so they're just showing power in all different parts of the zone right now.
Gallucci tried to wait on that, but still was out in front. She double clutched and still could not keep it fair. Well, two home run games already in this Conference USA Championship. We're only in the third contest. Lunar had two in the win over Sam Houston, and Diamond now against New Mexico State has a full count to Gallucci. Kaylin Blazers waits on deck for Delaware. Gallucci can do a little bit of everything. Also a very unselfish player. She's hit everywhere in the order. Pops this up right side. And it'll be the replacement first baseman. Valladares making the catch, and that's one away. Gallucci explaining to Bridget Chapman exactly what she saw. As here comes Blazers, who roped a double her last time.
And that communication that we just saw between Sorella Gallucci and Bridget Chapman, that's a learned skill. When, players come into the college game, being able to articulate what they're seeing and give clarity around, oh, it's outside versus it's clipping the corner and running off the plate, right? The level of specificity with the information is really important. And so hitters, when they come to this level, have to learn that skill of how to communicate that to their teammates.
1-1 here to Blazers. Rodriguez trying to bounce back after the home run. We talked about her role, how it has evolved this year. I had a feeling that she might not shy away from this type of stage. As that's hit the other way, slicing into foul territory. On the run, a snow cone catch. Elam able to go get it and somehow hang on. Some web gems today for both teams, especially this Aggie defense.
Elam went a long way, hung on with that, even through the contact with the fence. Nice catch.
It's one thing to hold on with the snow cone, but then to go crashing into the wall and keep it from hitting. Here's Chapman, turns on one and shoots it foul third base side. But Rodriguez, who's a sophomore, did not pitch postseason last year. So her last effort on a stage like this was her state championship series in high school. She threw a no-hitter in game one of that state championship. She struck out 9. She also drove in 5 runs that day. So she likes the limelight, as they say. Got a little help from her defense as there's 2 outs and a 1-1 count to Chapman. Chapman was the last batter Aragon faced. And launched that 3-run homer to dead center. Little pop fly into shallow right center. That's going to get down for a hit. Takes a bad hop on the right fielder, Elam. And Chapman, who's always hustling, gets a double out of it.
The New Mexico State defense, respecting Bridget Chapman's power, they were playing a little bit deep, shaded slightly to left field, and that she finds a way to just dump that into no man's land just over the second baseman. And then a little bit of a misplay, miscue on the hop allows her to get herself into scoring position.
So now Mulligan, 0 for 2. I'd like to get her going. And she lines one into center field, but a diving catch. Aka able to go get it. Fantastic grab yet again from the Aggies. Their defense keeping them alive, but some work to do for New Mexico State. Taylor Baca chasing the slicing line drive down, ending the inning, but her team trails by 6. Still out there for Delaware. Blue Hens leading by 7-1 score. Valladares, her first at-bat of the day after she entered in place of Lauren Garcia. Garcia, suffering what appeared to be an injury, was talking to the athletic training staff between innings before she came out. 1-1 to her replacement at first base, Beaumont, California native, playing at her 27th game this year. Was in and out of the starting lineup early in the campaign. Settled into a reserve role here down the stretch. And gets hit by a pitch. So a leadoff base runner, and that's exactly what you need. Down by 6 with 6 outs left to work with if you're New Mexico State.
Tough for Josie Crossman. You know, she's obviously trying to execute a specific plan here, going inside to these right-handed hitters. She's only hit 13 batters coming into this game, and that's her third one tonight. And so it's, you know, it's clear that she's trying to work a specific side of the plate with them, and that pitch is just running away a little bit too far from her.
An anomaly, to say the least, as Carranza takes it outside. Carranza's had herself a day. She hit the home run in the opener. She's got a hit in this game, and she has made 2 fantastic defensive plays in this game as well. Off speed, 2 balls, and no strikes now. So in this double elimination format, if Delaware wins, they secure a date with Jacksonville State on the winner's side of the bracket. That'll be tomorrow at 12 noon as Jen Steele will come out and have a conversation with the umpire. Meanwhile, whoever loses this game, they'll have to wait all the way until 5 tomorrow. And they will play the loser of WKU against the winner of our next game, Liberty and Louisiana Tech. So New Mexico State will be fresh if they can't come back, or Delaware if they let one slip away here. And they'll be playing a team that will be playing a straight doubleheader, back-to-back games. Is this an early secondary lead? Is that what the Delaware dugout saw or thinks they saw?
Not sure. I didn't see her do a motion for the challenge. I wonder if maybe this is related to New Mexico State's positioning in the box, or maybe something to do with the hit batters. I'm not exactly sure what she'd be asking here, but the Delaware softball coaching staff does like to keep an eye on those base runners and make sure that they are on time, and so they are familiar with that challenge call.
We've seen 2 games end this season on challenges of a base runner leaving early in Delaware's favor, 4 wins. Doesn't look like she was off the bag early there. Good shot from our ESPN Plus crew.
Looks for a second like she might have been late. She wasn't ready.
So, conversation first with Jen Steele, then with his fellow umpires, and now back with the Delaware head coach. You get to this stage, you want to make sure you leave no proverbial stone unturned. (7-1) Delaware's lead. Runner at first and nobody out. A 2-0 count to Carranza. A game that Delaware has out-hit New Mexico State 11-4. Long ball has been a big part of the story for the Blue Hens. They got the shot from Maddie Diamond, 2-run homer in the first. And they got a 3-run homer from Bridget Chapman in the 4th inning. And a solo home run from Maddie Diamond to start the bottom half of the 5th. Whatever it is, Jen Steele doesn't look too upset. Even a little bit of a smile cracking through from the Delaware head coach. Fleeting, but it was there for a second. And now the head coach of New Mexico State said, well, I want to get in on this conversation. You talk to the other coach that long, I want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, she wants to know as bad as we do up here.
Three balls and no strikes.
The reaction from the dugout, the New Mexico State dugout, makes me think that maybe it was about an artificial noise maker, potentially, something like that. They looked a little disappointed when Coach Higgs came back with whatever that comment was.
3-1. It was an emotional games down in New Mexico a couple weeks ago. When you get games like that go back and forth, both teams exchanging comebacks, emotions are going to be flying high, and these are emotional groups as that's line to left, caught by Mulligan, and one away here in this top half of the 6th inning.
No doubt. The momentum swings can bring, a little bit of chippiness out of both teams when they're fighting. And at that point in the season, they were still tied, I think, in 3rd place in the conference standings. And so that was a really pivotal series for both teams. And as you mentioned, both of them coming out of that series feeling confident regardless of the results. And so this is definitely a matchup that both teams had circled on their schedules.
Just out of the reach of Golucci, who tried to dive up the middle off the bat of Johanna Aragon. And it's a base hit, an infield single. And New Mexico State trying to scrap and claw their way back in this.
We've mentioned numerous times in this game that New Mexico State does have a potent offense, and they can score in bunches. And so they're just catching a little bit of steam here, up to 5 hits off of Josie Crossman. And Josie Crossman's going to do her best to keep them at bay, but they've got a runner on 1st and 2nd with just 1 out.
Bella Clapp will run for New Mexico State in place of Aragon. Taylor back of the batter. Couple of ground balls. Remember, she played as the flex player in the first game, so did not get any at-bats. And looks at ball 1 from Crossman. Bullpen actually quiet. You don't see that very often for the Delaware pen. It's almost constantly in action this stage of the game. And a check swing foul ball of 3rd base side.
When I've heard Coach Steele talk to her pitchers about being able to pitch with a lead, how important it is to be able to support your offense when they put up runs for you, be able to come out and shut down the opposing offense. And so this is a good opportunity for Josie Crossman to get some experience pitching from in front and being able to shut down an offense, particularly a good one.
You can see back as she sees a hole, trying to go the opposite way. just has not been able to get enough bats squared up enough to keep it fair. And now behind the count as a result, 1-2. Nibbling was something that the Delaware coaching staff was lamenting with Crossman and really the entire staff early in the season. 2 manning counts where they were getting 2 strikes, and then they'd end up full. And it was wasted pitches, in the words of Jen Steele.
Full counts or even giving up 2 strike hits, too. There were some moments in games where they were giving up 2 strike, 0-2 extra base hits, and so they were just leaving it too sweet, going for the punch out and not making their ball move or be deceptive enough.
Now they've worked it full here. 2 on, 1 out. Trying to get back in it, trailing by 6 in the 6th. And it's a ball 4, bases loaded situation for New Mexico State. How much more leeway will they give Crossman here? Do you let her try to pitch out of the jam? As Destin Burks will be the batter. Looks like the answer is yes. And Burks pops it up, and he's shallow right, going to get down for a hit. Good read on contact. A run scores station to station, and it's 7-2 thanks to the RBI single from Burks.
Mexico State coming alive offensively, finding some holes in the defense here. A couple of seeing eyeballs to get a run on the board.
And it looks like that's going to be it for Josie Crossman as the bases still loaded, only 1 out. Tying run is in the on-deck circle now for New Mexico State. This is first visit of the inning for Jen Steele. She was out last frame as well, and she has made the wave to the bullpen. So Claire Woods is going to come on for Delaware as she continues to talk to Josie Crossman. Uh-oh. She had not made the wave to the bullpen yet. I guess Claire Woods was trying to put herself into the game.
I stand adamant that we need to bring back bullpen phones, or maybe a walkie-talkie system, Morse code. I'm not sure what will be most effective, but
I think you get some on those wristwatch things that they have that could communicate down there. You know they're all wearing them when they're in the bullpen warming up. And Jen Steele going to show some trust here in Josie Crossman. Very interesting. Wonder what Claire Woods heard that thought she was coming into the game.
sometimes, you know, they're sending people down there to communicate things, and wires must have got crossed on that one. But she's ready, so.
Yeah, she's not going back to the bullpen, that's for sure. You can see she's got that softball in her hand ready to go. Hopefully, if you're Delaware, you don't need her. Here's Elam. And Elam taking downstairs. And it's interesting, too, because Elam has had success in this game. Here's that wave off. Woods was getting the armband on. She's all ready to go. And Jen Steele said, I didn't bring you in the game. Claire Woods is thinking, what the heck's going on? Here's a liner into center field. Going to get down for a hit. And one run scores. A late stop sign. They throw behind the runner at third, but able to dive back is Baca. RBI single. New Mexico State within 4, and they'll bring the tying run to the plate. And now, Josie Crossman will be done. Good job by Nankiville to get this in a hurry, keep it to 1 run. So after all that, Claire Woods is on. Josie Crossman hands her the softball. Her day is done. And we have a pitching change at the Delaware Diamond. So Crossman gets congratulations from her teammates. And a 4-run cushion. It's interesting now. Tying run at the plate for New Mexico State. Tell you about Claire Woods when we return.
When it comes to the health of you and your family, you want to trust in having the best partner for your well-being. Ranked a top hospital in the region, that's exactly what you'll find at ChristianaCare. Because you deserve excellence from your physician, specialists, nurses, and staff, with safe and convenient ways to get the care you need. And at ChristianaCare, we add in something special: love. It's at the heart of everything we do, and we do it all for the love of health. Your health.
Hey, grab me one too.
Things have gotten interesting at the Delaware Diamond. From a 6-run Delaware cushion to within 4 as New Mexico State Blue Hens go to the bullpen with the bases loaded. Into the contest comes Claire Woods.
Yeah, Josie Crossman, she just gave up a couple free passes there and a couple sharply hit balls. So Delaware's going to turn the ball over to graduate senior Claire Woods, who has done a really nice job so far this season of coming in and closing out games. She has a very different look. She changes speeds a lot, and so they're hopeful that she can shut down this threat.
Maddie Bachman to greet her. Bachman, who has swung such a hot stick here down the stretch, has lined into a double play. Also walked and been hit by a pitch. She's the tying run at the plate. We're in the 6th inning. And Bachman takes strike 1 from Woods. Bachman on her 3rd school, 4th year of college softball. She's spent some time at Liberty. As I tie it outside, 2 balls and a strike. Actually spent a season at UTEP, never saw the field, and then a year at Liberty where he took a red shirt as well. As that one misses low. So as much experience as she has, still new to the sport in terms of playing time. So it took her a little while to get comfortable, but as she has grown comfortable, the production has grown exponentially. And she launches this one to left field. Mulligan going back, and that one is gone! Bachman, a game-tying grand slam here in the 6th inning.
As I stated, New Mexico State can score in bunches, and they do there with Maddie Bachman coming up big with the grand slam to tie this thing up. Still a lot of game left as far as we're concerned with the way that this has been going.
A true life coming at you fast moment for both squads as New Mexico State forces lightning to strike, and the Aggies are celebrating a remarkable comeback. A new ball game, Lunar to the plate. And she takes strike 1. Watch it again.
Pitch left just a little too sweet by Claire Woods, but Maddie Bachman, right? Big players show up in big moments, and that was a big moment for her to come up clutch for her offense.
6-run inning and a line drive to left. Late track back. It's over the head of Mulligan. Hustling for second base. Lunar, the throw not in time. A double. And the go-ahead run in scoring position, still only 1 out of the inning. What a day for Kendall Lunar.
It's been the hardest out to get all day. Good job handling a pitch that was on the corner. Bad read, tough read by Ellie Mulligan over there in left field. Ball gets overhead. Kendall Lunar able to get into scoring position.
And now it's Sky Johnson. She hits a blooper to left center field. Good jump from Nankiville. And she's able to go get it for out number 2. New Mexico State has batted around, 10th batter of this inning. And Valladares, who got this all started with a single, comes up. Boy, Delaware was cruising in this contest. It looked like it was all but decided. And then New Mexico State, the comeback fiends, especially when they see those Delaware uniforms across from them.
It's a good job by New Mexico State, staying focused, right, working the process. They were able to get some small hits, right, some bloop singles, a couple of free bases, and then come up with big hits, multi-RBI type hits later in this inning, and it's about just giving yourself opportunities.
And now everybody leaning against the fence in front of the dugout. Life sparked into this New Mexico State team. Well, how big would going 2-0 today be? As it's strike two to Valladares. Doesn't need a big blast here. Base hit running on contact likely gives the Aggies the lead. And a soft liner to short, and Galucci able to make the shoestring catch to end the inning, but not before New Mexico State explodes, scoring 6 times to tie the game. Delaware has to regroup.
New Mexico State in the sixth.
When it comes to the health of you and your family, you want to trust in having the best partner for your well-being. Ranked a top hospital in the region, that's exactly what you'll find at ChristianaCare. Because you deserve excellence from your physician, specialists, nurses, and staff, with safe and convenient ways to get the care you need. And at ChristianaCare, we add in something special: love. It's at the heart of everything we do, and we do it all for the love of health. Your health.
Hey, grab me one too.
Well, life's about responses. For Delaware, they find themselves needing one thanks to this big blast, a grand slam home run off the bat of Matty Bachman, and it tied the game at 7, a 6-run top half of the 6th inning for New Mexico State. They'll keep Zantel Rodriguez out there. What's the message for the Delaware coaching staff?
I mean, it's back to a 0-0 ball game, right? And they've been hitting, they've been consistently performing and producing offensively. It's just a matter of growing that gap again, finding new ways to get on base, being effective against Rodriguez. I think it's just, I mean, it's the same as it was at the beginning of the game.
Nankivell setting the tone, has been on base all 3 times today. And the Hens could use a base runner here in the worst way possible. A bunt right in front of the plate. This one takes an awkward hop, and Nankivell works her way off.
As soon as that went down, I thought she's going to be safe. It's just, she locates that bunt so well, and even with Aragon at third base playing in a little bit, cheating in, she pulls it with her just a touch to that first base line, and it's just a tough play for anybody to make.
That's what Jen Steele said they were working on with her, just deaden those bunts. There's no way they can get you if you do. Here's Shivert taking low and outside, ball 1. You're seeing defenses adjust how they play Nankivell, cheating in more in the outfield, cheating in more in the infield, so there's less space for those slaps. But with her speed, there's nothing you can do about those bunts. Hasn't been much that New Mexico State's been able to do with Katie Shivert today. She shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike. 2 hits for Shivert, 3-hit game for Nankivell. Top of the order has been very kind to these Blue Hens. Well, that was early. Feels a little different right now after the big-time comeback from New Mexico State as it's tomahawk foul, third base side.
Does indeed, but these top of the order hitters for Delaware, they have done the same thing consistently all year, which is set the table and let the rest of the lineup come through. And you've had home runs from Maddie Diamond in the 5 spot and Bridget Chapman in the 8 spot. And so there's opportunities for them to cash in runs if these table setters can get on base.
1-2 to Shivert. Little hack job goes foul, first base side. Shivert over 200 career games played, over 200 career hits. Has never missed a game during her Blue Hen career. It's an emotional senior day. It's always emotional for every team across the country. But for Delaware, Shivert, Schaefer, and Kristen Luzon, the winningest senior class in program history. That one is turned on and line foul towards the corner and left.
And they were able to accomplish that even with the slow start to this season. Had they had a traditional start for them, they would have probably made that record really hard to catch. But they're going to continue trying to stack wins as long as they can throughout this conference tournament and beyond.
Waits on the changeup and hits it foul. Well, Rodriguez is trying, mixing speeds, giving different looks. This was a question mark for New Mexico State coming into this event, right? You know what you have out of Aragon. Could someone else step up? And credit to the sophomore, she has.
She's done a nice job so far. Aside from that solo home run from Maddie Diamond, that's the only run production that Delaware has had, and she's scattered a couple of singles here and there, but she's quieted the bat so far.
Roller to shortstop. Carranza flips to second. That's all they're going to get. Nangerville was hustling, but even her speed couldn't get there in front of that tailor-made ground ball.
Now batting, catcher, Sydney Schaefer.
Sharply hit, but well-positioned Taylor Carranza right in the right spot.
Even with the bobble, Nangerville couldn't get there, so now it's Schaefer. How many times has she come through in spots like this over the course of her career? A tough day. It started right from the jump. She hit that sharply hit ground ball and plunked Katie Shivert with it. Dead ball. Instead of an RBI, runners had to go back, and Shivert was out. And hits this one hard to left, but they were playing deep, and so it's right at Johnson, who actually had to come forward to catch it 3 steps in front of the warning track.
Yeah, a little bit of top spin on that ball. Still hit well by Sydney Schaefer, but she wasn't able to get behind it as much as probably she would want to. You can see it kind of falling off at the end there, but Delaware still looking to threaten here.
So here's Castaro, 2 down, go-ahead run, still at first base. And Gianna hits it through the whole left side, a base hit. Castaro aboard as Shivert stops at second. And the red-hot Maddie Diamond comes up for the Blue Hens. So might get a runner here for the Blue Hens as Castaro coming off that knee injury and put in a little more speed for Delaware here. Houseman will come in to run for the Hens.
And people at home might be wondering, there's 2 outs. She's the trail runner. Why are we making that change? Grace Houseman has great instincts, and if Maddie Diamond is able to get a ball into the gap, she's got a really good opportunity to score from first. And so Coach Steele and the Delaware coaching staff looking to try and grow this lead as quickly as they can and late opportunities to use some of their bench here.
So now conversation with both the pitcher and the defense. How do you want to pitch to Maddie Diamond? That is a question that has eluded New Mexico State all day long.
And to be honest with you, I don't know what the answer is right now.
I don't know what the answer is either, but I know whatever Ben A. Higgs just said to her infield, they loved it because they were all dying in laughter. So talk about trying to keep it loose in a big spot. Not making the moment too big. She talked about that with this team. That's their personality. They're loose. They like to have fun, but they're serious when they need to be. So let them have fun. And that's what we have seen from New Mexico State all season. We've seen it so far here in this Conference USA Championship. Day one, third game. Second already for New Mexico State. They've stormed back from 6 down. Diamond taking low and inside. She's got a 2-run homer and a solo shot.
I wonder if some of that conversation between the pitching coach and the bullpen and the battery here was about, let's put some pitches in good spots and see if we can get Maddie Diamond to get herself out, right? Catch her fishing, maybe being a little bit over-aggressive.
She hits this a mile, but foul to left field. The Liberty team that is warming up has to look alive, as they were probably not expecting a softball to come out their direction.
Yeah, of all the balls she's hit so far today, that one probably had the longest legs.
Wind picks up a little bit. Remember, it is blowing in from left field, out to right. 1-1. Hitters count for Diamond. Rodriguez, who came on in place of Aragon. It was a 3-run homer from Bridget Chapman that chased the New Mexico State A's. Beautiful pitch, drops in for strike 2.
It's a good pitch call. Nice time to use that off speed.
It's one of those ones, if Diamond's looking for it, look out. But if you fool her, you get the little knee wobble you got that time from Maddie. Now here comes the 2-2. Diamond pops it up a mile high behind the plate. And Lunar doesn't have room. I'd say that one almost brought rain, but since we dealt with so much wet weather earlier today, I don't even want to mention it. Another 2-2 coming here to Diamond. And she waits on it, lines it deep in the hole. It's short. Carranza, a run-saving play on the dive. It's an infield single for Diamond, but what an effort from the Aggie shortstop.
Really nice play going to the backhand side in the 5-6 hole. Late dive, late glove action. Nice job by Carranza.
Not only did she have to lay out, but almost reaching back to get that one. So now it's up to Galucci. Has singled and walked. And she pops it up out of play, third base side. Galucci, who's been through so much this year, they moved her all over the lineup, kind of wherever the other pieces have been fitting. They moved Galucci to fill holes. She's batted cleanup, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Has found a home in that 6 hole, though, here down the stretch. And she gets hit by a pitch to force in the go-ahead run. Unbelievable.
You talked about earlier Sorella Galucci's selfless nature, and that is it on display. Could have gotten a little bit in her own way and wanted the big shot to clear the bases, but willing to just wear the pitch, excited to take her base, firing up her dugout to continue this rally.
What a game. 8-7 Delaware leads. Now it's Blazers. And outside, ball 1. That has to be deflating if you're New Mexico State. You scrapped and clawed and fought so hard to draw even, and then a bases loaded hit batter, and you're back behind. That one turned on down the line and left. Fair ball headed for the corner. Watch him run. That'll clear the bases. Going for third and being thrown out is Blazes, but she provides all kinds of insurance to the Blue Hens, who have gone up 11-7. What an explosion for this Delaware offense. And Jen Steele is going to challenge that last call at third base.
Worth a shot, right? It's late in the game. We haven't used any challenges yet on either side. And so for Delaware, they're just going to try and get a look at this. Kaylin Blazes comes up huge in that moment with the bases loaded. Just a freshman, really finding her way in this back half of the season, but a great job putting it where they weren't. Left field was shaded a little bit in the gap there, and so she did a nice job of taking that inside pitch down the line and getting just enough on it to clear all the bases.
I don't think that challenge is going to work out for Jen Steele. That was not the most graceful of slides that time from Kaylin Blazes. She did almost get the hand in, though, on that second reach, but it looks like the tag came down and wore one a little bit on the tag as a result. But, I mean, how many swings does this game have? We have seen a bunch already today.
Absolutely, and you know that tag was a little bit high, and so I understand them wanting to take another look, especially just at this stage in the game. It's worth it because if they can keep their rally going, they definitely want to do that. But Kaylin Blazes, a little bit of a freshman mistake there, making the potential last out at third base, but she will learn from it, and she will be better for it, as we all are. But cashing in a big moment for her, and Delaware's not going to let this out, if it does come back confirmed, be deflating for them.
If you're going to make a freshman mistake, this would be the time to do it after you hit a bases clearing double in the sixth inning to provide your team some critical insurance. As it stands right now, 10 runs combined between these two offenses in this frame alone. The 6th spot to tie the game from New Mexico State, and then the 2-out magic here from Delaware to respond in this home half of the 6th inning. Well, evidently, it's close enough that they're taking a long look at it. It was an awkward slide, and then it turned into a lunging contest after that. That's where that turf can sometimes come back to catch it. It's not true dirt. It's not quite as smooth a slide, especially on those head-first times. Decision has been made, though, from our umpiring crew. So out at third base, and it ends the inning, but not before Delaware strikes. They score 4 times, all coming on 2-out hits. We head to the final frame. Blue Hens 3 outs away from a win. with all types of twists and turns. 24 combined hits between the two teams. 18 runs, 10 of them in the 6th inning alone. And it is Delaware that has pulled ahead 11-7, the lead for the Blue Hens. Claire Woods still out there for Delaware, 3 outs away from a potential victory as it misses inside to Carranza to start this top half of the 7th inning. New Mexico State sent 10 to the plate in the 6th frame. The big blow coming from Maddie Bachman's game-tying grand slam as that one is rolled foul, third base side. It's a game that Delaware was vying for a wire-to-wire win in. They were up 3-0 in the first frame. They pushed the lead to 6-0 in the 4th. Both teams scored a run in the 5th. And then the offensive explosion in the previous inning as it's 1-2 to Carranza. Carranza, Aragon, Baca due up for New Mexico State. They need base runners, and they need them now. If not, they will be facing elimination tomorrow evening. As an Aggie team, they have put together plenty of comebacks this season, especially against this Delaware group. They have another up their sleeve. Little liner, foul, third base side. Dorian Shaw, who's gone down to await a potential post-game interview right in the vicinity of that ball. I didn't see her getting involved to make the play, though. Disappointing from the former first baseman, who tells me how good her glove is all the time. 2-2. Got her swinging. And one away here in the 7th inning. The Woods reached back for a little something extra on that one. And you can see the timing off from Carranza, who's had a nice day. Homer in the first game, a hit in this one. Now it's Aragon taking low. Johanna Aragon, transferred from UTEP in her 2nd season, came over with her cousin Faith, who's the ace of this New Mexico State team. 2 balls and no strikes to the junior. Not only are they teammates, family members, Faith and Joanna also roommates. That one comes in downstairs, and it's 3-0. Get me over pitch, 3-1. If there is one issue for Claire Woods at times, she can nibble. And ball 4, 5-pitch free pass, so 1 out base runner for New Mexico State. If you're Delaware, that's the last thing you want, up by 4. No free base runners. Yana Castaro, consummate communicator over there at first base. A little encouragement and instruction for the right-handed pitcher. As here comes Baca. And she checks her swing, coming forward to the box. They appeal. No go. Those slapper check swings, the hardest for umpires to handle because there's so much movement that they're watching. The body's moving as the hands are coming forward. Slapper towards short, caught by Gallucci, and a double play ends the game. And the Delaware defense, which has been fantastic all season long, able to make a play and get the win for the Hens. After a rough first 2 weeks, they have turned into a very good defense. And one of the strengths of the team as it shows off. Delaware wins it 11-7. A thriller here at the Delaware Diamond. Big comeback for New Mexico State, and then an immediate response for Delaware, and a good pick over there at first base from Castaro. So the Hens get it done, and they will go into the winner's side of the bracket where they will take on the regular season champs, Jacksonville State, tomorrow afternoon to get day 2 started at 12 noon. As you see those Blue Hens flashing the W's for win. New Mexico State, meanwhile, they are back on the elimination side. They staved off elimination with a win in their first game, and now they will play tomorrow night and will have to win the rest of the way to stick around and keep moving forward. We have one more game coming, as it'll be Liberty against Louisiana Tech, getting started a little bit more than a half hour from now. Here's the other side of the bracket. You see New Mexico State, they are scheduled for that 5 p.m. game tomorrow. Trying to stay alive, they will face the loser of this game up next between Liberty and La Tech. So 3 in the books, 1 more to go, but we are standing by to hear from the head coach of the victorious Delaware Blue Hens as she is going to visit Dorian Shaw. Jen Steele making her way over to Dorian, who is standing by momentarily with the Delaware head coach. Take it away, Dorian.
We're here with Delaware head coach Jen Steele. Tell me, how is your blood pressure after an exciting game?
I think I need to get over to Christiana Hospital. That was ridiculous. So really happy we could pull away there with the win, but man, we made it interesting.
How did you reset your team after giving up that 7 spot in the 6 spot in the top of the 5th?
We talked a lot about maturity coming into this tournament and how to make sure that every game we're playing is like the last 3 weeks, right? And so not putting too much pressure on ourselves, passing the bat. And I got in the huddle and I said, hey, you promised me you'd be mature. And so we just talked about making the adjustment at the plate, and they were able to do it.
Promises reminded, promises kept. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Go Hens.
Appreciate it, Dorian. Good stuff from Coach Steele, and a good win for the Blue Hens. They battled the conditions. Their defense gave them reason to smile. The long ball certainly helped matters as they got 2 home runs from Maddie Diamond, and they got the big 3-run hit from Kaylin Blazers. So the Hens on to the winner bracket. New Mexico State will play from the losers end tomorrow at 5 p.m. We have one more game coming up. It'll be Liberty against Louisiana Tech. We get started in about a half hour. For Dorian Shaw, I'm Matt Janis. Thanks so much for being with us. Once again, your final score, 11-7. All games airing on the ESPN Network are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.